Nepal is known as a land of mysticism, intrigue, and temples. It's about 5:30 in the morning here, kind of foggy out this morning, but yet warm. It's really a strange climate here in the Himalayan mountains in Nepal. But today we're leaving, and around 8 o'clock in the morning we're going to drive down in our Jeep all the way back to the flatlands, go back to the small town of Latong, where we'll get a taxi Jeep that'll be a little bit more comfortable and fit all of us in there and have AC if it's needed, because the roads here are pretty dusty and such. But we're going to go about, I think it's about a 7-hour trip to James's ministry, which is also another project supported by Layman Ministries, and we'll stay there for a couple of days. It's about 2 hours south of Kathmandu. And after we're there for a little while, we see what they're doing with their video projects and some of the other things that they're doing with publishing. We'll head to Kathmandu and we'll take you to the Monkey Temple. That'll be interesting, and do some other areas around Kathmandu. They say that Kathmandu, or at least Nepal, is the birthplace of Buddhism, but Hinduism is the most prevalent religion here. And then we're going to go to the airport, or at least I'm going to go to the airport. And I heard that that's going to be pretty crazy because of the fact that there's about 5,000 or 6,000 Nepali people leaving every week to go to foreign countries. So there's actually a depopulation thing happening here in Nepal, with people leaving the country because there's just no future here in Nepal. And then we'll head on home, so let's go. This is going to be a nice building when it's done. I'd like to explain what we're doing here with the building of this building. For years we've been doing health outreach in Nepal, going into the villages and basically training young people from the villages to understand about proper hygiene and cleanliness and things like that. And so we started a health lifestyle center here in Nepal, and that's what this building is right behind me. It's going to be used for. We have students from these primitive villages at the foothills of the Himalayas that come here, and they get extensive training about health, about healthful cooking, about treating diseases naturally as much as possible, because they don't have clinics or hospitals way back in the remote areas of the Himalayas in the villages. Just to give you an example of the kind of things we deal with, one time when I was in Nepal here, we went out to a village. It was a 2.5-hour hike into the village, and there was a place where there was a spring well in the ground that served for some of the houses on this one side of the village. These houses had no electricity, no toilets, no running water, and these people were living out there like this. And so people would go to the spring well and they would wash their dishes there, and they used mud as kind of an abrasive, like Comet or something like that, to clean their pots and pans. And then right next to it, people were urinating and brushing their teeth and spitting back into the water. And then they were wondering why people got sick. And I was at this one village, and they had a kind of a nice house, and I asked them, so where's your toilet? And they pointed to the bushes out past the road in front of their house. And I'm like, you okay? So there's a real need here in Nepal for teaching basic hygiene in the remote jungle, remote wilderness areas. It actually is kind of a jungle here. And that's kind of one of our main objectives in having a center like this. Also, with our work here in Nepal, teaching the Bible is a very center of what we're doing. We're teaching young people that if they are and become Christians, some of the students come here are Hindus, but when they accept Jesus Christ, they should know very well exactly what that means and understand the place of the Bible in the Christian walk. And so we're going through the Bible with them, helping them to realize that everything that we believe is based on the Bible and the Bible only. Are you okay, Johnson?
Yes, sir.
I'm okay. It's like being in Chennai.
This experience also important.
Very important for what? Character development?
Yeah, everything.
Finally off the mountain. That was quite a ride. We're getting ready for our long journey. Finally got down to the small town, and we're going to be in this rig for about 8 hours to get to where we're going. Up here on the left is a store that was burnt down. I guess there was a chain of stores here in Nepal that people thought that the owner was involved with some kind of corruption or something. So they burned most of the stores down in Nepal during this uprising that happened 3 weeks ago. We just stopped for lunch at a Nepali restaurant. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but it's on a really nice river that's flowing through here. And Nepal's a little different than India. Getting vegetarian food is a little bit more difficult. And our whole group that are from the center are all vegetarian, so looks like they have Nepali lunch, which is going to be pretty good. Wow, it's kind of strange. Well, they finally served us lunch, and we found a nice Nepali lunch. It's kind of like the Indian lunch, with some nice rice that has a little bit of corn mixed in it. And what did you call this?
Sabzi.
Sabzi? And we had some sabzi. I think in India we would call this, what? Johnson, what would you call this stuff in India?
Yeah,
Putti?
Yeah, put.
Anyhow, it's got made with potatoes. And then they got these little teeny French fries. And then this red stuff right here, if you can see it. This red stuff, extremely dangerous. That stuff will burn your nose and off your face practically. It's not so bad. A lot of milk.
Just milk and sugar.
What they're doing is they're taking this milk and sugar and boiling it down, and as you can see, it's not the most hygienic situation here, but then it's put in trays or something, and then when it sets up, they cut it in little cubes and box it and sell it here in Nepal. You guys want us to take a picture with them, or? Getting everybody into this truck is kind of like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, right? 8 people. This is our driver here. One of our drivers. We have 2 drivers. On the road again, heading out. This is the Himalayan mountains right behind me, right up in here. You can't get a really good idea how big these mountains are unless you could be here and see them in person. This has been a long, grueling ride, but what I've noticed on this road all the way basically from India to here, there's landslides, that have come down and covered the highway. They've tried to push some of the stuff around, places where the roads are washed up, because they've had some big storms here just in the last couple weeks, and it is just landslides everywhere. Like I was showing you at the center where we were at, it happened on their road, and they were actually trapped in the center because they couldn't get in and out on their road. But all along this highway, stuff is sloughed down, covering part of the lane. Some places it's only 1 lane wide, or even barely 1 lane wide. Parts where the road's completely washed out, big sinkholes. So yeah, it's been kind of an adventure here driving in Nepal, and it doesn't look like any highway crews are too excited about fixing these roads very soon. We're here today. The name of this ministry has always been hard for me to pronounce, but it's Jeewit Bachan. And it's a ministry ran by James Wilson. And his parents actually were a friend of ours years and years ago. And we kind of reconnected here because they're living here with James. But James has got dingy fever. We were really hoping we were going to have group meetings today. And then it turned out that he ended up going to the hospital the other night. And they finally figured that they think he has dingy fever. So we just got done having a long conversation on the laptop computer while he's in the hospital in bed and talking about the projects here. But his dad's here, and his dad's going to show us around and see a little bit of what's going on in the ministry and some of the buildings and things. Hey, Jim, I guess You're going to get to show us around today?
Yes, welcome, Jeff. Okay. Yeah, this is our newest building. It's guest housing on the ground floor. Mm-hmm. And then we've made an apartment on the upper story for us, myself and my wife.
Mm-hmm. What's on the other end, or do you have the whole top story for your apartment?
Ours is the whole
Okay,
floor. It's
nice.
basically 1 bedroom and kitchen and living room. Pretty basic, but
I
very
think
comfortable.
James here, right before the dentist came or something, they did like a dentist camp.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he asked our ministry to finish this up, and it looks, I'm staying in this room, it looks super nice, but
Yeah, dental camp, and they had a whole van full of different dental hygienists and different ones that came, and they were able to take advantage of the guest housing. So it was a real blessing.
good. Let's go inside.
We have one of our actually staff stays in the room there, and then we have your guest room here.
Want to see my guest room? Kind of dark in here, but you get an idea. This is a super nice room. I feel kind of spoiled considering all the places I stayed in India. Yeah, kind of gives you an idea.
And then one more guest room here. We want to. So. And then there's the 2 bathrooms that are been provided.
Yeah, these are super nice bathrooms, really nice. What are they going to do with this area here?
And so we still need to complete like a little living area, living room type situation, and then over on this left side would just be a very simple kitchenette that would provide for people who are staying a little longer.
So is that if people come and stay here, they can actually cook and take care of themselves by having like a little living quarter?
That's right. So far, everybody's been taking care of the guests, but yeah, the goal is that if someone a little longer term could take care of their own needs. So
yeah, this is a super nice building. The construction work is really well done too on it, I've noticed.
yeah, basically it's I-beams and all set down into the earth. And of course concrete around that, and then from there it was interlocking blocks and then plastered on the outside.
Okay, good. Where do you want to go next?
We can just work our way down the hill.
You don't want to show us your garden?
Oh, we can, yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty.
I caught him at about 6 o'clock this morning out here working in his garden.
So yeah, we've one of our goals, of course, during the monsoon is the too much rain. So that's basically why you need a greenhouse here. It's probably some things we could probably put a little more plastic during the winter to give a little more heat, but typically, like especially tomatoes and different things don't like a lot of rain.
Are you able to grow tomatoes here pretty well?
Yeah, these are Nepali variety. I think it's a hybrid Nepali, but they're usually fairly small compared to Americans. But
Yeah, it's funny, in the Philippines we try to grow tomatoes and all we ever get is little teeny tomatoes
Little
like
ones.
this, and then in the States, you know, they're the beef eaters. And
yeah, they don't know what that is here in Nepal. But it is one of the most popular fruits or vegetables. Is cucumbers, green peppers, and tomatoes. It's probably your biggest. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, a lot of onion and garlic as well. But
So where are we going next?
so we can probably the next most recent building was where James, the founder, and his family live.
You know, James is pretty blessed to have his mom and dad staying here in a foreign country, working here and having you be a backup for them and helping
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
we're able to help with the children. It's nice to be with them as they grow up, and also be able to help with the ministry. And
So what?
So,
This is where James is
this
staying.
is James's house. Yes, it's a metal building, and that's again where he and his family live.
I don't think I've seen metal buildings here, like for
Yeah.
housing.
Yeah, it goes up fairly quickly, so it makes it very convenient. Don't have a lot of the other costs to put it up.
Yeah, and he's got such a beautiful view with the valley down in here.
Yes,
Really
it's
nice.
very nice. So along the road we have some banana trees. So we've been trying, these were already here, but we are trying to add more fruit and fruits trees to the place. There's some mango trees, and they've been planting a few more
I
different kinds of bananas.
Notice there's a stream coming down through here. Does that ever like flood the area since they've had so much flooding in Nepal, or is it pretty much
Last year
contained?
it was actually flooding. It was flowing down this driveway.
Wow,
It was, we have a bridge down here, and it was just flowing over the bridge.
that's
So,
a lot of water because that ravine goes down quite a ways.
yeah, it's usually just, like it is, just very, like a creek, we call it in the U.S. But,
So what's this place?
and so this is probably the original building that was built. It's actually a duplex. There's one place on one side, and then another house on the other, apartment on the other side. So when James first came here, he and his family lived on the other side, and I think Sanjeev was probably always on this side here. And then,
So who's staying in there right now?
so right now, this is Sanjeev's side of the apartment, and then on the other side is Som. He's one of the other
So
workers,
what do those
staff
two
here.
gentlemen do here?
It's mostly be the evangelist outreach. Som does a lot of, between the preaching, between Som and Sanjeev and some others. They do the week.
And Som
the
is the one
Sabbath
that's
school.
in the hospital with your son right now?
He
So
is,
he's
yes.
actually a
He's not-
helper that way too for
Yes.
whatever needs to be done kind of person.
And that's the way it is with most people. Yeah, here.
If you're
that's
working in a ministry, you gotta,
whatever needs to be done.
needs to be done, needs to be done.
Yeah, so Sanjeev, and his wife Kala, and his daughter Safalta live on
So
this
this
side.
is two living quarters, one on one side and one on
That's
the other
correct,
side. Okay.
yes. And then this is kind of their own personal garden here. And then back here, if we guess we could walk back there,
Oh,
is Marsh and his family. That was built for them. Yeah, so recently they've added the paving stones in between the two houses, places, and that way the van or whatever can park here.
and you're growing,
So-
somebody's growing calendulas. I love these flowers.
Okay, yes. So yeah, this is, again, Som and his wife live there, and then Marsh and his family, he has two children. They live in this house here.
And so what,
And so Marsh he's just does a lot of coordinating for the ministry. He's also, between coordinating for the Sabbath school, the publishing work, just a lot of, areas that he helps out with.
and is this just one family dwelling then?
It is, yes. This is one family dwelling. It's very easy. He's been trying to do some bees. I don't know if you noticed the beehives up there.
Yeah.
Try to get some of the feral bees. But
When we were way up in the mountains visiting Sandra's place, one of the workers' dads had these like a hollowed out piece of wood from a tree
for the
and
local, yeah.
mud and dung kind of on the ends and a
Yes.
hole drilled in, and bees were going in and out of it.
Yes, they do some of that too.
So they poured all this with concrete here for the walkway?
This is all hand mixed.
Wow.
And so if you see, it's all in sections and different grades of quality, but it's all hand mixed. They'll bring in the sand, concrete, and then water and mix it. And so, yeah.
Somebody likes to do agriculture. They got all these seedlings in these black bags for replanting.
Yeah, Kala, Sanjeev's wife, she likes to work with the flowers and all. So she's hoping we'll be able to have a little starter nursery sometime.
So interesting in Nepal, when you build a building like this, it's always referred to as the center. Sandra's place, it's the same
The
way.
center, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they call this building, right?
They
The
do,
center.
the
Yeah.
center, yeah. So maybe about a a year ago or so. They basically 6 months ago they finished the remodeling and opened up the ceiling because it used to be very low ceiling, and then it allowed for some of the camera equipment and all the lights to be able to put
Remember
on
when James first came on with our ministry, he was talking about doing media production.
He was.
And we helped him with some of the acquisition of some of the camera gear and stuff like that. And so they got a pretty nice set. I was looking at that this morning when we were having family worship, or staff worship, that the set is really attractive. First I looked at it and I was thinking, it looks kind of too gray, you know? But then I saw it on a camera and I was like, oh, it looks
nice
pretty nice when they light it up.
Yes.
Yeah. What are they doing here exactly? What kind of programming are they doing?
And so there's they just finished this last week filming for the Sabbath school for the quarter. I don't know how much they do in advance, but that was being done. Also on Sabbath, it's not only video captured, but it's also it's being zoomed to Nepalis that wherever they are in the world they can join in. And so we actually have people in other countries that are signing in to participate in the worship service.
And it looks like they're set up also to do like interviews, like a 3-camera shoot, because you got 2 cameras here and then one in the back. And I was noticing 3 chairs, so I'm kind of thinking they must do interviews or something sometimes.
Yeah, I think that was especially for the Sabbath school, but also even for the church service, they can zoom from one view to another, and so that makes it nice.
So is this like a control room back here for the video editing and stuff?
Yes, that's where our computers and all the sound equipment's stored.
Wow, there's a lot more stuff back here than I realized.
So yeah, and just a little room, but yeah, this was actually redesigned when they redid the center here to make it more.
What are they doing with the animations?
So basically it's an English Bible story, and Anu is working to voice over
Within Nepali language?
into the Nepali language.
And will these go on YouTube or something?
So they're at the Jeewit Bachan website, and also during church service they'll play that during the children's story.
Oh, well, that's a clever idea. And you're doing the voiceover for it, huh?
Voiceover and also translating
Translate first, then voiceover.
stories, translating stories, and also we are doing the subtitulation panel discussion, and also the video clips for YouTube, and also 1-minute videos, 5-minute videos. So
A little bit longer.
Good. Well, I think that just about does our tour of the campus here, but they have a lot of stuff going on here, and we're making plans for the future. I just got done talking with James. What was that on? What application were you using?
Google Meet.
Google Meet, yeah. And we had almost a 2-hour visit about plans. Amazing with technology today, all the things you can do. We just, even like 5-6 years ago, a lot of things we're doing we couldn't even begin to
Couldn't do it.
Well, our trip's finally winding down. We're still here at James Wilson's organization. We took this organization under our umbrella about 8 months ago, I think, or maybe almost a year ago now. But it's the first time I've actually been on their campus and saw what they were doing firsthand. We've known him for years and years and years, and really appreciate the work that he's doing here. But we're getting a ride this morning to go to the hospital and visit him in the hospital. It turns out they found out that he has dengue fever. And then from there, we're going to go with some friends to Kathmandu, shoot video for the day, and then go to the airport and start the long journey back.
For the food that's been prepared, we just pray, Father, that you'll help us to strengthen and give nourishment.
This is a Nepali gas station. You got these bottles they're filling up here, so we have enough gas to make it to the hospital. Had my first hot shower in 3 weeks this morning. Well, that was nice. This is the typical little shop along the highway. You could stop and pick up something, some slippers. And then over here, they have energy drinks, and he sells like snacks and things like that here. And water bottles and junk food and Coca-Cola, of course. And they got some veggies here too. Or you could get some betel nut if you want some betel nut to chew. We got about 2.5 hour drive to get to the hospital. We'll visit James for a little while. There you go. All along this road, from James' house to where we're at right now are military checkpoints all over. A lot of razor wire and military stands in the sides of the mountains and military soldiers around. So you have to be kind of careful where you take video. I was told that some parts of Nepal, tigers and lions are really a big problem. And there's one area, there's a kind of like a natural reserve. And the guys that ride their motorcycles through there to get from one place to another do it in a group because they've had too many times where a lion just comes, or actually she said a tiger just comes and rips the person off the motorcycle and drags them off through the forest. So yeah, there's Bengali tigers here and there's lions here, like puma or cougar. And I guess it's not that uncommon to have sightings of them, and you have to watch out for little children. Just in certain areas, you know, around Nepal, not the whole country. That's the hotel, okay. And there's a Buddhist shrine. You see Hindu and Buddhist shrines all over the country. Behind me is the city of Kathmandu. It lays down in the valley here. And it's one of the largest cities or the largest city in Nepal. It's the capital of Nepal. We're heading down now and we're going to go to the hospital and see James in the hospital and meet some friends and then head on into the city. Let's go. When we arrived at the hospital, we realized it was pretty tight security, so we felt pretty uncomfortable with shooting any video. So we did get to visit with James Wilson and spent part of the afternoon with him. And then we headed on to look at the temples and such in Kathmandu. This building here is the district court, and you can see it's been gutted here too. The whole country basically went into a revolution when this happened because of corruption that they claimed is happening with the leading politicians here in Nepal. This is a parliamentary building that got burned during the revolution. They gave me this special piece of paper here so I could come into this place and take a few pictures. They say that Kathmandu is the city of temples and that there's more temples than there are homes, but I don't know if that's really true or not. There are definitely a lot of temples in Nepal. Prayer wheel. The traffic in Kathmandu is just absolutely crazy, but I was told the airport's going to be much worse. This is absolutely nuts. Look at this. And I have to try to get through this. Getting out of the airport here is going to be a lot of fun. I can't check in probably for another half hour, and this place is full of people shoving and pushing.